שלום, אני אהרון, והיום נלמד לקרוא בעברית. Hello everybody, my name is Aaron, and today we are going to learn how to read in Hebrew. Today we are going to learn two new letters, the letter Nun and the letter Samech. So, without wasting any time, let's start. The first letter of today is the letter Nun, giving me an N sound. So when I see the letter Nun, I have the N sound to it. And as you can see, I have two different shapes for the letter Nun. Maybe you remember from last class, we had the same thing with the letter Chaf, giving us the final form of the letter and the regular form of the letter. And by saying final form and regular form, I will use the final form of the letter at the end of a word, or the regular form at the beginning or at the end of the word. So this line will be at the end of the word, breaking the line from the bottom side. This is the way for us to know that this is not a vav, longer from the bottom side, or that we have the regular form that we see on the right side. Sometimes the regular form will look just like the letter L if we will flip it. So this is another form that we will see in some of the fonts, sometimes with a little head, sometimes without this little head. Now, let's try and see if we remember a little bit of the vowel work that we had up until now. If I want to create this nu sound, what should I add to the letter nun to create it? And in this case, I'm going to use the vav with the shuruk, the dot at the middle, to create this nu. Another option will be to use the three dots in a diagonal line. Second option that we have is the na. What vowel should I add to the letter nun to create this na sound? I can use the patach or the kamatz, so the plus or the minus sign for the letter nun. If I want to create this ni sound, what should I use? In this case, I will use the chirik, dot under, and the letter yud, chirik male. And if I want to create a na again, I can use the patach or the kamatz that we already saw. Let's test it out a little bit. Let's try reading out loud some of the words here. You should be able to read all of these if you watched all of the videos up until now, because it contains only letters that we already learned. I'm going to read only the words that contain the letter nun. So I'm going to read number 1, number 3, and number 5. In number 1, I see the letter nun at the beginning, and I see that re giving me an e. Together it will be a ne sound. Afterward, I see this giraffe letter, the gimel, giving me a g. So I will have a ge sound. And lastly, I see the door frame letter, the letter dalet, giving me a d. So altogether, neged, neged. Let's see number 3. In number 3, I see again the gimel, but this time with a kamatz, giving me a g connected with an a, ga. Afterward, I see the nun again with the patach, so it will be a na sound. And lastly, I can see the letter nun again, because I see it is longer from the bottom side. So it will be another n. So altogether, ga, na, n, ganan. And this is the word for a gardener in Hebrew. Let's look at number 5. In number 5, I see this M-looking letter or mouse-looking letter, and this is the mem, giving me an M, connected with the patach, giving me ma. The second letter is the letter gimel again, giving me with the two dots next to each other an e, vowel, ge. And lastly, again, I see that the letter is longer from the bottom side, final form of the letter nun, giving me an n. Altogether, ma, ge, n, magen. And this is the word for a shield. You probably know it from Magen David, Shield of David, or the Star of David in English. Let's continue to the next letter. But before we do that, if you want to work with the same source material I'm using in this video and in all of the other videos, you can find those for free at my Buy Me a Coffee page. And if you find value in these videos and you want me to keep producing those, it will really help me out if you will buy me a coffee when you're there. So now let's continue. The next letter that we have is the letter Samech. The letter Samech looks a little bit like a snake biting its own tail. And this is quite comfortable for us because the letter Samech creates this S sound. Now let's see how it will work. If I want to create this C sound, what should I add to the letter Samech to create it? In this case, I will use a chirik or chirik male, so a dot and the letter Yud afterward, creating the C sound. If I want to create this so sound, what should I add to the letter Samech? And in this case, I have two options. I can use just the cholam or adding a vav afterward for creating the cholam male. Personally, I would recommend using the vav with the cholam, so a cholam male, just because in the future, when we will not have vowels, the vav will stay, the cholam will disappear. If I want to create this su sound, what should I add to the letter samech? In this case, again, a vav, but this time I will add a shuruk. My lips are going to the middle, so the dot is the same way, going to the middle of the letter vav. Lastly, I have the sa sound. What should I add to the letter samech to create a sa? In this case, I can use patach or kamatz. I chose patach. Now for a little test, we have here 6 words containing only letters that you already know. I want you to try and read those and let me know down in the comments how many you were able to read out loud. I'm going to read word number 1, word number 3, and word number 5. So let's start with number 1. I see the letter samech with the 2 dots next to each other, giving me this a sound. So together it will be a se. Next to it I have the letter mem with 3 dots in this triangle shape, tsere, giving me a me sound. And lastly I have the letter that looks like a lightning bolt, giving me the L sound. So all together, se, me, l, semel. And this is the word for symbol. On number 3, I again see the samech at the beginning with a kamatz, giving me this sa sound. Next to it, I have the letter gimel with a cholam male. The patach under it is a small mistake there. Ignore it. So I have a cholam male with the gimel, giving me this g with an o. So together, go, like in the word top. O like in top. And lastly, I have here again the lightning bullet letter, creating an L sound. All together, sa, go, l, sagol. And this is the word for purple. On number 5, I can recognize the letter chet with the kamatz and a shva. So I know that after the letter chet, I will need to start a new syllable. But with chet and kamatz, I will have a cha sound. Next to it, I see the letter with or without the ball. So this is the letter bet without the dagesh inside, giving me a V sound. And I see here a patach, so it will be a va, v plus a, va. Lastly, again, the lightning bolt letter, the lamed, giving me an L sound. All together, cha, va, l, chaval. Now, before closing the video, I'm going to say out loud 2 words, and I want us to try and write those down before I do it. So the first one for port, the word is namal. Namal. If I want to write the word namal, I can hear at the beginning this n-a, meaning I will need the letter nun, giving me this n, and the a connected to it will be from a vowel. It will be from the kamatz. Afterward, I hear this ma, na, ma, l. So the ma sound needs the letter mem, the one that looks a little bit like a mouse with his small ears and this round bill. So this gives me an sound. I will connect it with the patach, and lastly I hear this l at the end. Na, ma, l. What gives me an L sound? If you said lamed, the lightning bolt letter, you were correct. Na, ma, l. Namal. The next one that we have, power, is koach. Koach. And to create this, I hear this k at the beginning and o, koach. So to create it, I'm starting with the letter kaf, so the C shape with the dot at the middle, and I hear this O connected to it, koach. So to create it, I need the cholam male. Next to it, I need the letter chet. And this is a little bit of a trap over here. The letter chet at the end of the word with the kamatz will be read as ach. So if you wrote it with aleph, it's mega understandable. But in this specific case, I will use chet with a kamatz to create this koach sound. When I have chet with the kamatz at the end, the kamatz will be read first. So I will pronounce it before the ch. Koach. This is quite it for today. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like down here and tell me in the comments what was the most fun letter to learn up until now. I'll see you next time with 2 new letters. Yalla bye!